system. Backed by our 50-year warranty. And there's a 0% financing, no payment for 6 months options that this customer utilized. If you're looking for a new roof and you need an affordable option, call Absolute Restoration.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 6.
It's a forecast so cold you can make ice cubes outside. Yes, welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard, joined alongside Chief Meteorologist Matt Laubon. Matt has the latest on the cold, but we also had a few flurries in the area earlier on today. Matt, what exactly are you tracking?
Well, we're tracking less of those flurries than what we had earlier on. And it's always one of those situations where we want to remind folks that we're always interested in meaningful moisture, and we didn't have meaningful flurries out there earlier on today. Again, appreciate all of you all for watching us here on Mississippi Live Weather at 6. You know, one of the things we're looking at on the forecast here for this evening, obviously, are those cold temperatures. And luckily not a repeat performance of the flakes. But yes, there were flakes. We'll look at a video of at least one of those spots here around the region where those flakes were more significant, though we did have them up in Tippah, Prentiss, Alcorn, Tishomingo counties a little earlier on. We could be dealing with record cold, though, for tonight, where temperatures could get down into the low 20s, maybe even some teens, not an impossibility out of this. But I think most of us maybe just above that threshold, and then gradually warming in a way that really gets us well above normal as we look toward that extended forecast. But over the first 12 here, it is not pleasant, already basically to the freezing point now, dropping below that by 7 p.m. We're 26 degrees by 10, 24 by 1 o'clock in the morning, 23 at 4 a.m. And yeah, about 24 by 7 a.m. But I think that coldest temperature, that low temperature, which Gabe will look at in a minute, could be almost right at where we're expecting the record low, where current record is, and we're expecting it to be for early tomorrow morning. Outside in Oxford, cold enough that apparently that reporting station has taken the evening off, but those winds are calm. And those calm winds out there, one of the things that will help those temperatures to drop more. Also, the fact you have such clear skies there, a sign that we just don't have any blanket of cloud cover to hold those temperatures up at all. We're at 35 degrees right now in Smithville, which, believe it or not, is one of our milder temperatures here across northeast Mississippi. Feels like 31 because that 5-mile-per-hour wind, even though it's not as breezy as it was earlier on today, still slices in and makes it feel that extra bit chillier. And then as we look out of Greenville, again, farther west, so still a little bit of glow showing up out there at this time, 37 degrees, our warmest temperature at this instant on kind of the close-in shot here. So we do have freeze warnings in effect. Southern half of the area involved in these, as you can see here, that'd be locations from Grenada and Eupora back toward Columbus out into West Alabama. All these spots here on West Alabama until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. For the Mississippi side here, 8 a.m. And what this means, again, another hard freeze, killing freeze as far as plant life is concerned, likely for tonight. So prepare accordingly. And as Gabe and I were talking behind the scenes, it's already been enough to kill off a lot of his plants and probably many of yours last night with where we were. Low temperatures since midnight, upper 20s. So we're going to be slicing off more than 5 degrees for low temperatures tomorrow morning. So it definitely is a bit chillier. Temperatures right now coming in the mid 30s. The coldest there up there where they've seen more significant snowfall for the Smoky Mountains out there closer to Asheville, Knoxville. And you can see wind chills obviously more rough there, deeper into the sort of purple category, a sign of the really, really chilly air. Our wind chills are low 30s at this instant across North Mississippi. And yes, indeed, we did have just, if you look at the coloration there, a little bit of blue showing up. A few spots where maybe we had just the littlest bit of snowfall for today, with more significant amounts up there in excess. If you look really closely, in fact, I'll zoom in a little closer to show it. For some of those spots up there in far eastern Tennessee, we get into some of those darker blue colors. That's 4 to 8 inches of snowfall that those folks ended up having. We do have a shot coming in from Chattanooga earlier today. This showing some of that snowfall. It sounds like some music coming in from that. Appreciate Abby. But yeah, some decent snowfall there. Looks like it was not accumulating on the roadways there, thankfully, but certainly a wintry sort of look at things. And we even still have a little bit of that out there at this time of the evening as well for locations out toward Chattanooga. Still some snowfall on Mississippi Live Weather Radar out there, though it's all fairly light our wider shot again showing that high pressure is our story, most recent system kind of pulling away, and all this kind of wrapping around that cold air aloft, and so just kind of wringing out the moisture that's left there as it slides, generally trying to get closer to Atlanta. But again, once you get in lower elevations, this is less and less impressive. And honestly, even that's not really accumulating much more than a little bit of dust falling, or, well, snow dust. And we get the idea of dusting. Either way, high pressures. This is our big Canadian cold air that we have in place, and it has settled in. And so we are, for tonight, at the coldest that we will get this time around as we look over the next couple of days. You'll note that we, again, are mostly clear with no blanketed cloud cover. Those temperatures definitely dropping for tonight down into the 20s very quickly, and then probably low 20s by early tomorrow morning with just a few flakes back to the north and east up there in the higher elevations. As we look here into your early morning, again, a few clouds, but no precipitation coming from those. High pressure, dry conditions, those are really the big headlines over the course of this work week that will eventually warm us up. We get on the correct side. On the west side of that high pressure center starts bringing up more warm air and slightly moist air from the Gulf of Mexico, and that'll start boosting those temperatures. That's why we're 38 at 9 a.m. or 51 by noontime tomorrow, mid-50s. So again, we're not talking super warm, but that 54 degrees there with the wind still has a bit of a chill, but not nearly as much as what we were impacted with for today. We will look at those low temperatures, compare them to records across the region in a couple of moments. That's one of the things we're looking at coming up here in 60 seconds. We're also tracking eventually some rain and maybe storm chances in the extended forecast. And obviously, with the warm-up, you always have to wonder this time of year, how long does it last? We're tracking that as well here from the Room to Room Weather Center as Mississippi Live Weather at 6 continues right after this.
Give the gift of a delicious burger from Bulldog Burger, a soup and sandwich from Sweet Pepper's Deli, appetizers and cocktails from The Grill, or even a wood-fired steak from Harvey's. Choice is the perfect gift. An all-in-one gift card from Eat With Us.
We found Tupelo Smiles when our kids outgrew their pediatric dentist, and my husband and I wanted a place where the whole family could be taken care of.
As far as technology goes, there is nobody more advanced than Tupelo Smiles.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays. Ready!
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
Right now, from the Room to Room Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
The cold continues across North Mississippi heading into our Monday evening. Here's a look at record low temperatures for what we saw today. 26 degrees Tupelo, 1971, 27 in Memphis for 1953, and 23 in Greenwood for 1991. Again, this was for November 10th, and we were not far away from that as we got our Monday started. Looking at those low temperatures, we saw 28 in Tupelo, 28 just outside of the Memphis area, and Greenwood and Greenville coming in about 30 and 31, but everywhere below freezing this morning, and that expects to continue into our Tuesday morning. So I hope you're ready for another cold start for our Tuesday morning commute. 34 degrees Oxford and Holly Springs right now, 32, yes, right at freezing for Iuka, 34 in Louisville, and 37 there towards Belzona. So those temperatures already starting to cool off, and overnight we expect that trend to continue. 29 already by 8 p.m. So any of those Monday evening plans, if you do not have layers, emphasis on the S in that word, well, you definitely need to do so as we need to stay as warm as possible. 25 by 11 and 24 there by 2 a.m. I heard Matt mention it. Yes, my tomato plants at least, did die as we got into our Monday morning. So they were growing a pretty good tomato. That tomato is not going to be able to produce. Unfortunately, learned our lesson, going to start earlier next year. But one thing that we were talking about is plants. We're also talking about pets overnight. Make sure to bring them in and make sure that they stay warm. We have a stray cat that stays outside. We laid out a blanket and had a water bowl and a food bowl. Set the cat in the bathroom overnight, and they stayed warm. Little Biffy, so shout out him. He stayed warm, and so I recommend you to do the same just to make sure all those pets are taken care of. Not saying go take in a stray. If you want to, God bless your heart, but to make sure your pets are taken care of. Let's go ahead and get into that futurecast. As you can see on our Monday evening, staying dry and staying clear, making way for that cold start for our Tuesday morning. Those clear conditions often allow that atmospheric heat to escape, go back into the atmosphere, and then we're going to be left with a much cooler forecast here on the ground, and that's really what we'll be experiencing. I say cool, I mean cold forecast as we get going with our Tuesday. Looking at those low temperatures, what will we be starting with? Whew, man. Yes, you see those temperatures correctly. 21 in Bruce, 21 Red Bay, 24 Holly Springs. Not out of the realm of possibilities that we do get a few teens in some of those higher elevations, but yeah, just going to be a very cold start for our Tuesday, and those wind chills adding to it, dropping a few locations into the teens with Senatobia and Tunica at 17, Holly Springs and New Albany at 18, and same thing there towards Boonville. So I know my Blue Devil will be layered up, and I recommend yours to do the same because it is going to be a cold and chilly start. We saw those low temperatures expected for our Tuesday morning. Well, here's those records currently in place for November 11th, our Veterans Day. 24 degrees in Tupelo set in 1977. That very well could change if those numbers do verify to 2025. That's just how cold things will be. Memphis set in 1960. That 60-year record could be changed as well. And Greenwood coming in 1953 at 24 degrees. All three of these have the potential to be broken as we get into our Tuesday morning. So record-breaking cold. That's what we're going to be dealing with for our Tuesday. 24 degrees around drop-off. That's going to be that 7 and 8 o'clock hour. 47 close to lunch, and then 53 by that last spell. Sunshine going to be abundant all day long, so make sure to enjoy the sunshine despite it being a very cold forecast outside. Afternoon should be much warmer than even what we've had today. So yes, a colder start, but a warmer afternoon. As we keep Futurecast going, you can see that we do stay dry and clear all day long, but those winds have already shifted to more of a southerly direction, that allowing some of that warmer air to move back into the forecast, that Gulf wind, or should I say southerly wind, to bring in that Gulf moisture. That's what's starting to shift that forecast. High pressure driving out there towards our east and leaving us with that change in the forecast as a result. That'll continue to be the case into our Tuesday afternoon. So if you've been waiting on the warmer weather, or at least somewhat warmer, then this is the forecast for you. And it just continues to get better as the week goes on as high pressure is driven out. And we'll be left here with mostly clear skies, but really zooming it back in here to North Mississippi, you can see that a little bit of cloud cover along the Tennessee state line will be the only thing of note up there in the sky. So not expecting any flurries like over there in Chattanooga. The shout out to my sister submitting that video, Abby. She was off celebrating her honeymoon with her husband, and they got a video of a pretty unique event. And so that first snow of the season, I know they're excited about it up there, but we're definitely excited that we stayed away from the snowfall because we do not need that to affect our commute, right? So 3 p.m. on your Tuesday, still sticking with those dry conditions, but those clouds dipping a little bit closer right along Highway 6 before being driven out there towards the east. So no rainfall is expected. I can't believe I'm saying this, but no snowfall is expected, having to bring that into the forecast now. So we are expecting those dry conditions to continue. High temperatures for your Tuesday trending much better with 54 in Tupelo, 49 Red Bay, 56 around Columbus. We jump out west there towards 57 in Cleveland, Clarksdale, and 56 around Tunica. Let's keep that futurecast going, and it continues to be those dry and calm conditions. So no need to worry about that forecast moving into our Tuesday evening. Still going to be good to go, but still going to be very cool. So make sure to have those layers handy. We keep that forecast going overnight and into the start of our Wednesday. Cloud cover does start to build off there in the distance. No moisture is associated with it. This is going to be that leading edge of that cold front, that little disturbance that we'll have here in North Mississippi. But as that cold front moves on through, this is going to be the most non-impactful cold front that one could receive here in North Mississippi. Those winds still primarily out of the south will remain out of the south for the most part, not really transitioning to that northerly direction like we typically see with cold fronts. So no really temperature change and no moisture going to be expected. This is just going to be one of those atmospheric boundaries moving on through, but not really seeing effects here on the ground. That's going to continue into 6, 7, and 8 o'clock on our Wednesday evening and staying dry into those overnight hours once again, and cloud cover trying to remain prominent, partly cloudy conditions there for our Wednesday night. So not a bad forecast for the next couple of days, just a very cold forecast for at least the next 24 hours. 67 degrees in Oxford by Wednesday, 66 Boonville, 70 showing up in Houston, Bruce, Eupora, and Starkville. So it is going to be trending much better, and those warmer temperatures do return, so make sure to enjoy that forecast. But our Veterans Day is tomorrow on top of all those cold conditions. So if you do have any Veterans Day programs, those programs, they're starting early. Make sure to bundle up at 24 degrees, 51 by noon, and 54 towards the afternoon. So warmer towards the afternoon. If those programs need to be pushed a few hours, highly recommend that to stay on the at least warmer side, respectively speaking. But still, I want to say that we are grateful for all of our veterans out there, those who have served, the men and women out there. Just very grateful that we get to live in a free country, and that's all thanks to our veterans. So big shout out to them, and very grateful. And I hope you guys are grateful as well to celebrate that with whether it's loved ones or people you know. Everyone knows a veteran. Everyone knows someone who has served. So give them a thank you and a hug just for what they do for our country. So looking at that forecast for the next 7 days. Well, we're going to start with Tuesday, and it is going to be a cold one for our Veterans Day. 24 degrees at the start, 51 there by noon, and 54 is where we top out by the afternoon. So temperatures trending slightly better, but we'll really see that warming trend take place by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Upper 60s Wednesday, low 70s Thursday, and mid 70s there by Friday. Low temperatures follow suit with 38 degrees by Wednesday morning, 43 by Thursday, and we're back into the 50s as we get towards next weekend. But next weekend, we are tracking a frontal system that's moving through the region. That's going to give us our next chance of rain. That's going to be Sunday night into Monday morning. We're going to have more details coming up here in the next 60, but really breaking this down tonight at 10 o'clock on those rain chances and what to expect, and really the timing in all of this. We'll have a full look at that, a little sneak peek of it coming up in the next 60. So thank you so much for keeping it here at Mississippi Live Weather. We'll see you back here in just a minute.
Some people judge a book by its cover, and if you're not what people are looking for, you're kind of like a reject.
School, it feels like everyone's staring at me and I'm just kind of not really a person.
It just feels hard today. Nobody was listening to me.
And I'll try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
I'm your retirement fear, but don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. This is pretirement.org.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Welcome back into Mississippi Live Weather at 6. We're continuing to break down that forecast, but on the extended front. We know it's going to be cold tomorrow, but just how long will those warming trends last? And heading into November 16th through November 20th, this is going to be that 6 to 10 day outlook. You can see above average temperatures are in the forecast, and that's talking 60 to 70 degrees in the grand scheme of things. So very much on that warming side compared to our normal average for, or should I say our 30-year average for this time of year. Let's keep that extended forecast going. This is the 18th through the 24th. So not only is it up until the 20th, we continue it all the way into the latter part of November. So heading into Thanksgiving, or at least close to Thanksgiving, things are looking very nice. The next 30 days do see those warm conditions remain in place. I'm saying warmer, I should say above average, because really this time of year we're not getting those warm conditions. It's primarily just going to be above average, and we'll see that west of 55 for the next 30 days, around average east of 55 whenever we look at that outlook. Now next 3 months, this is definitely the site that everyone's watching for the possibility of a cold Christmas, and we're honestly not going to be getting as cold as what we could be whenever we're talking that 3-month average. We're still well above average for what we typically expect for the 30-year average, so expect that to continue as we get into the next 3 months. We'll have breaks, of course. This is just the general average, not just the single day averages. So that's something to consider as well. We will have breaks, we will have anomalies, so don't think it's going to be warm forever. Precipitation outlook. Let's go ahead and break down those rain chances, and this is primarily going to be that 16th through 20th. We are currently at November 10th, so this precipitation outlook actually lines up with that Sunday evening rain chance pushing into our Monday as well, and so far predicting a little bit of a wetter forecast, meaning above average for what we typically expect this time of year. So those rain chances verifying on our outlooks as well. That continues into the 18th through the 24th, so even a few more rain chances kicking into the forecast as we push into next week. So have those umbrellas ready. Not going to be dry forever, but over the next 30 days, whenever we average it all out, we do see a slightly below average for our normal rainfall output. So the dryness of this time of year definitely going to be in full effect, and we will be experiencing that over the next 30 days. We will also be experiencing that over the next 3 months. You can see some of those below average trends right along Highway 82 pushing south into east. Rest of us right around average, and our average for the next 3 months normally not too high. This is a very dry season here in North Mississippi, so expect those to continue as we get into our 3 months winter season at that point. So those that want a cold and potentially a white Christmas, not exactly a great outlook in the grand scheme of things, but you can definitely take that and kind of take with it what you will. But that's the outlook that we're expecting here over the longer trends. But we'll, of course, break that down day by day as we get through the next 3 months in its entirety. So day planner for tonight, let's go ahead and take it day by day, starting with our overnight hours, 29 degrees by 8, 26 by 10, and 25 by midnight. Clear conditions continue. Clear conditions really the big driver in our forecast as to why we are so cold for our forecast tomorrow. So make sure to bundle up because these cold temperatures are going to really make an impact for our morning commute tomorrow. Remember, pets and plants, bring those indoors. And honestly, with this forecast, wouldn't hurt to drip pipes, but we are trending in that direction as these colder temperatures do continue. Hopefully your plants made it. Mine did not, unfortunately, but our pets did, and that's what matters, right? I see some folks talking about the beard. Matt and I, of course, doing this to bring awareness to prostate cancer for the month of November. No Shave November in full effect. So if you see us looking a little scruffy here recently, that's the reason why. We'll carry that over through the entire month. So the next 20 days, next 3 weeks or so, we'll see what we can get to. My wife's loving it, loving the beard. So I'm glad you guys are too. But honestly, I enjoy it for this time of year. It keeps me warm. It's warm, kept my face a little bit warmer than usual. So who knows? This might start to become a yearly trend if we keep this up. But I see some folks saying eating soup for breakfast. Honestly, not a bad bet tomorrow morning. Just find ways to stay warm. Warm cup of coffee. And of course, you guys can tune into the Mississippi Live Weather app with meteorologist Maggie McCauley happening at 6:37 and 7:30 on your Tuesday morning. She'll have the latest on those temperatures. If we officially break any records, she'll have an update on that. Our forecast schedule, or our broadcast schedule, 6:37 and 7:30 with her, of course, but then we'll be back at 5, 6, and 10 with me and Matt breaking down the forecast on what to expect going forward. And we do have good news when it comes to those temperatures moving forward at our 5, 6, and 10 o'clock broadcast tomorrow. So make sure to tune in. We do have our 10 o'clock broadcast tonight. We'll have the latest on those temperatures, and if we can expect anything even cooler, we'll have that latest update for you coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 10. We'll see you there tonight. Until then, stay warm and, of course, enjoy your evening.
Hi, my name is Rosie. Regional Rehab Center helps kids like me by offering speech therapy, occupational therapy, and dyslexia therapy. Your support helps so many of us get what we need to grow and succeed. Please help the Rehab Center.
Live!